Hi guys, Alfie's coming into the room to help me this time. We're attached at the hip. Aren't we, little man? Good boy. You lie down there. Getting ready for his little stroll with him. I can't say the W word or he'll go mental. Um, we will be heading off soon. Before that though, I wanted to make a video just because my phone was dying yesterday. I was talking about Caroline Flack, Sinead O'Connor and Liam Payne. That's in order, by the way, of when they all tragically lost their lives. All three of them were hounded in the media. Good boy. Just look at that. Beautiful boy. You're the best boy. I love him so much, honestly, don't I? You'll be going a sec, little man. All three were hounded in the media though, getting back to the video at hand, and I thought it needed to be talked about further. Like, it really pisses me off that they all had to die before people gave them any sympathy, and like, they died under different circumstances. None of them were perfect. None of them were perfect, right? Yeah, they had a lot of problems, sure, but they had mental health issues, right? That's the first and foremost thing that I want to talk about. Like, it's it's very sad to see people getting absolutely annihilated in the media. Everyone's just saying them as, free pass. Like, Liam Payne was just, you can say nothing bad about him. As in, no matter what you say, you're justified in it. Do you know when people feel comfortable? Like, you got to see it with Donald Trump. You were allowed to say whatever you wanted about him in the US election, but you weren't allowed to say anything against the Democrats or you were racist. Do you know what I mean? But Donald Trump, that's fair game, man. Whatever you want to say about him, I don't know what he's going to do to that country, but um, unfortunately, whatever happens in the US affects the rest of us. They have so much power, so like it or not, we'll all be affected. But you were literally given a free pass with Caroline Flack, and then she ended her own life, and isn't it terrible? Sinead O'Connor had been harassed and humiliated in the media for years. Like, people gave her dogs abuse. I think she had borderline personality disorder. I think she was diagnosed. She was in a reform school and everything, like for troubled youths, which were run by the nuns, and you know what that means. They were fucking horrible to everyone. This was back in old Catholic Ireland, and I know Sinead O'Connor burnt that picture of the Pope or tore it up, and she tore it up, like, and all that. And I was talking to my mum about that, and my mum just said, like, every time she was on the show, she'd be complaining about something. It was always very tense because you knew she'd be causing a scene or something had happened. And while a lot of the points she was making were good, she also said she felt like, give it a rest just for once, because you're always complaining about something. And I didn't really grow up in the era where she was at her most popular, put it that way. She had a lot of mental health problems, and her son did as well, and God love him, he died by his own hand, having been able to check himself out of the psych ward, It's not good, it really isn't. So she had so much shit going on. And I think everybody felt like at least she's at peace now when she did die, God rest her soul. Then you look at Liam Payne, and I mean, he was said to be bitter about the whole thing, with One Direction breaking up, and everyone was saying he was jealous because everyone else was doing so well, and he actually was really popular in One Direction, not so popular when they split up. So people were like, oh, he's just jealous, and he was hammered in the fucking media. Jeez, I did not believe the amount of abuse he got. And you can say, oh, whatever, he's fair game, but no one deserves that level of abuse. I don't care what they've done, they do not deserve. Well, I mean, depends on if they've murdered people or done other unsavoury things. But unless you've done something like that's unforgivable, you do not deserve that level of abuse. And he just kept getting it. Nobody eased up on him, and he was clearly struggling. Say what you want, he was clearly struggling. That's three people over a 4-year period, right? Caroline Flack, God rest her soul as well, and God love her for what she was going through. She had a history of self harm and mental illness. Her boyfriend did not want to press charges. He didn't want anything done about it because he obviously knew that she was struggling, and maybe he had done something, or maybe he's just a very empathetic person. But either way, he did not want to do anything further, and they kept pushing the issue, and then that got her a lot of negative press, and she couldn't cope. And she made the ultimate she made the ultimate solution in the end. And that's really sad. And it shows me that in 4 years we have learned fuck all. And given that it was COVID as well, around the time where she ended her own life, we had a lot of time to ponder things, like to really have a deep think about everything, the state of affairs and humanity. But it's like the angry mob just hops on the bandwagon and abuses some fella because it's fair, and it happened with a woman, it happened with a man. There's no gender discrimination here. Everyone gets it. You're all fair game as far as the media are concerned. The trend is to just keep bombarding, abusing, chipping away. And it was relentless. It was non-stop, and there was no break given. Even when, Caroline Flack was pleading that her mental health was in a bad way and deteriorating, people did not stop. Some might have stopped, but there was still a large number of people, and shame on you if you did that. You're disgusting if you did that, and don't feel like you're exempt from all this. I didn't know, or it was just a laugh, bullshit. You knew what you were fucking doing, and we haven't learned fuck all from it. Ironically, what we've learned is that we've learned nothing in that time. Liam Payne only died there in October of last year. Something I want to make a video on, just talk about. It's not right. It really fucking isn't. It's sad. It's tragic. The amount of people who were given abuse, and celebrities too, and now they're hopping on the bandwagon of, oh, they were a wonderful person, and well, you didn't fucking say that while they were alive. So what is my point in this? My point is, do people have to kill themselves in order to get some sympathy? It's too fucking late by that stage. That's what really annoys me, is how reactive we are as a society of people ending their own life. That's why people feel the need to have a cry for help. You cry for help because you feel like unless you do something drastic, nobody is going to give you the help that you want. And that's many times I contemplate, will I just self-harm so that I get some assistance and some help, because they don't seem to take me seriously. I'm in a very bad place. I try working on myself and actually going out and just doing it myself, and kind of giving up on the medical professionals. So I felt like we're just giving me excuse after excuse. I thought, nah, fuck it. I'll just work on myself. I'll go to different classes. I'll better myself. That's what got me through, and people who did reach out to me and help me out, I've been fortunate, but I've reached out and gotten help. I broke down in the hospital before, just saying I'm mentally ill, I need some help, serious, I'm really struggling. I could never bring myself to say I think I'm going to do something horrendous to myself. It's yeah, it's a funny one, it's a tricky one, alright, but I don't want people to have to get to that stage. Why do we have to get to that stage where we're thinking of ending our own life for anyone to actually do something? Normalise talking about it, right? Which I think is happening among the general population, if no one else. We are normalising. I'm having a rough day. Okay, no problem. I understand. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. You don't want to feel like you're putting everybody out. Believe me, when you're going through this shit, you do not want to feel like that. Or at least I don't. I can only speak for myself, but people will bombard you and harass you, and then they'll go, oh my god, it's terrible what happened. Should I have to get to that point? No. And if you've done that to someone, and you've been relentless, you don't get a free pass. You're fucking guilty. You should be ashamed of yourself if you did something that caused someone to take their own life. Don't think that you're exempt from this. If you were abusing someone online or in person or whatever, You're one of these fuckers that even when they begged you to stop, you didn't. Don't give yourself a free pass because you're an evil fucker. You know, it's too easy for people to go, oh, I didn't know it was that bad, or I didn't mean anything by it. They were just too sensitive. No, fuck off. I'm not buying that. You know, and like I said it before, I'm no angel when I talk about bullying and shit that I did. But then I start thinking I am giving a human being abuse here, and that's not right. I feel bad for this person because I have fucking empathy and I'm a human being. They're clearly suffering here, they're struggling, so my actions were not good. And if that person had done something, I was guilty, you know, in that moment. But I apologised, I looked out for people, I changed my ways because I had fucking empathy and I felt bad genuinely about what I'd done. You know, and how many people don't? How many people just go off, you know, who've done way worse than me or others, and they go off and they just carry on like nothing happened. It's a fucking evil world we live in many ways, but there are good people out there. Hold on to them, guys. Cling on fucking tight because we need as many good people around as we can get. And mind yourselves, you know. And Alfie is watching. Gelatin man, yeah, good boy. Better go off with him now in a second. Next one, bye.